Hello everyone. This video is going to be my post-pregnancy vlog. I may do a couple, I'm not sure. I just know that I'm going to do this one right now. And it is my, what is it? It's going to be discussing my labor and delivery. And I've been home, well, my baby is 2 weeks old now. And I've been home for 2 weeks tomorrow. Like literally, I was in the hospital for just about 24 hours, just like with my last son. The hospital be ready to kick you out. I paid $350 so I could stay in a room for one night. I could have went to the hotel for 3 days or so, you know, a hotel for like 3 days. They really, there's no love there anymore. They're like, okay, you've had the baby? Okay, you're bleeding fine. You're walking, you're not numb anymore? Okay. Great. Can you pass gas? Can you pee? How many times have you peed? Okay, you can go home. And that's it. But sorry to have that side rant. What's really going on? Start with the labor and delivery. Again, this is my third baby and it's my first girl. She weighed 6 pounds and 7 ounces and she was 19 inches long. She was the lightest baby. She was the smallest baby that I've had. 19 inches, she was the second longest, or her and my last one probably were just about the same in length. So she definitely did way easier on my hinder parts being small. Thank you. And she had the smallest head, the smallest body, weighed the least. So this time I did have an epidural. My first son, I had an epidural. My second son, it went too fast. I had him natural and he was the biggest baby. This time, she's my third one. I had time to get in there and get an epidural. The only thing with epidural, for some reason, and it's the same thing that happened the first time, my husband thought I was tripping. I think he thought I was lying, that it didn't work like it was supposed to, but it worked. And I'm glad that it didn't work to the full extent, because maybe I wouldn't be able to know what my body's trying to tell me. And then I'm glad I'm glad it didn't work to the full extent, and I'm glad it did work some because it did relieve me of some pain and pressure. So when it came down to getting epidural, both times, my right side is the only side that was numb. Literally, like from the hip, actually like from my ribs, like where my ribs were and down, the right side was numb. Both times I had an epidural. So I still felt my contractions, but I only felt them on this side. So it's only half the pain. I don't know how to explain it, but it was fine with me because I got the epidural right at the time when they were just going like off the charts and you couldn't see them. And this time with the contractions, I had front contractions, just abdominal, pelvic, you know, contractions. With my boys, I had back labor. And I felt like someone was squishing me from all sides with that. That's hard to deal with. Those contractions are, I would say, the worst. But having dealt with the contractions where it's just my front, I definitely was able to deal way better. And because I kind of was anticipating back labor, that's why I kept going to and from the hospital. I'm like, something's different about this pregnancy, because I was contracting almost a whole week before I had her. Every night from about midnight or 2 o'clock to about 6 o'clock. Contracting, cramping. So my body was getting ready to have her, which I felt. So I kept going to, I went to the hospital twice before they actually admitted me. I went on Friday because that's when I went to go take in my paperwork to drop it off to register for the hospital. And while I was dropping off my paper, I was just, I was like, I think they need to check me. And my mom was like, go ahead, have them check you. So they checked me. And the Friday before I had her, I was at 3 centimeters, which I was at, because on my appointment on Wednesday, the Wednesday before that Friday, I was 2.5 centimeters. Friday, I was 3.5 centimeters. Sunday, I went and got checked. And again, I was still about 3 centimeters. And my contractions weren't steady enough. They were just erratic. They were all over the place. So then Wednesday, that I went to the doctor. Actually, it was my checkup again. I was checked and I was at 5. Actually, no, that's what it was. That Sunday, I was at 4. The Wednesday, I was at 5. And my husband, he came home from work. My mom, she was getting ready to get on the road. She turned around. They was like, she's coming today. Because I'm like, okay, 5 centimeters. And I'm like, she's coming today. And this is what's going to happen. My house is clean. I did everything. You know, like everything was just, it was just time. So I waited. I was, you know, contracting pretty much that whole day. Because, again, the doctor had scratched the membranes when I was in the hospital. She said she was going to help bring my, you know, progress my labor so that my contractions would be more steady. So I still had 2 or 3 in an hour, and then an hour without some. But then finally around 9:45, I was like, let's go ahead and go to the hospital. Well, 9-ish. I was like, okay, let's go ahead and go to the hospital. We didn't get there till like 10:45. The hospital's only like 15 minutes away. I mean, I went upstairs and I took a bath, and my husband was doing something. I was waiting on him. And we was waiting on my in-laws to come over so they can, my mother-in-law could go with me to the hospital, and then my father-in-law could stay with the kids. So we finally got there. First, just me and my husband checked in at 10:45. We stopped waiting on folks. So 10:45, we got there. They wouldn't admit me until another hour or so later because it was like, well, because your contractions aren't steady enough. And I was like, well, I'm not going home. She's coming tonight. And so they were like, well, we have to wait until your cervix changes itself. And I'm like, what exactly does that mean? Please say that to me. I mean, I don't know why I didn't understand what she was saying. She was like, well, you have to dilate some more. I was like, so what? I need to be a 6? She's like, yeah. What I was told is if you were a 4 and you were full term, you were going to be admitted. For some reason, the rules for me that day was I needed to be 6. Whatever. Within an hour, my body was at a 6. So I was like, okay. So then I signed out my paperwork. They put the IV on me to, you know, to get me ready for my, for my epidural. Got my epidural like midnight-ish, a little after midnight. Actually, no, I got admitted around midnight because I got there at 10:45. Around midnight, I got admitted 1-ish, between 12 and 1. I was getting my epidural. Yeah, closer to 1. Got my epidural. Again, the one side was numb. So crazy numb. It was just crazy how one side I could move one leg, but I could not pick up the other leg at all. Oof. So she was finally born, 5 o'clock, 5:06 a.m. in the morning. I did not get an episiotomy this time. Thank you, Jesus. I had one the first time, and it was horrible. It was my first child, and the fact that he was 8 pounds and 3 ounces, that's big, especially for a hoo-ha, you know? So the doctor cut me the first time instead of letting me tear. And what is it, like 4? You can get a 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th degree cut, and I had a 3rd degree cut, so it was pretty darn bad. My second child, I tore, and I had to get stitches. I tore the bottom and a tiny bit at the top, so I had to get sewn both places. This time, I tore just at the bottom, and it was a very, very small tear, he said. I only needed like 2 stitches. The second one, I don't remember. He wasn't really bad stitching, but I definitely had to get a couple more than 2. I think I had like 3 or 4, like 4 stitches or so. So, again, thank you, little girl, for being so gentle down there. And so, had her at 5. And then they transferred me to the other, because I was in the labor delivery room. Then they transferred me to the antepartum or whatever, post-delivery room around 2 o'clock that next day. Yeah, around 2-ish. And then I stayed from 2 o'clock to about 2 o'clock the next day in the other room. So all in all my deliveries were fast. They were beautiful. And I was blessed with healthy babies, and I couldn't ask for no more. So I'm happy about that. Now, on to my being home now for about 2 weeks. I also will show y'all what I look like. I guess my body structure now. I'm pretty happy with it, to be honest. I lost the 12 pounds that I gained. I only gained 12 pounds my whole pregnancy. I didn't go over 190. And I started at 178. I came back home and I was 176. Yeah, 176. And just the other day I weighed myself, I was at 172. So I've already started losing a couple pounds just because I am only breastfeeding my child, just like I've done with all my children so far. I've breastfed them purely for at least the first 2 months. And then after the 2 months, I may start mixing it up. Because around 2 months after is when I start getting busy again, because I try to just give myself 2 full months to devote to them and just, you know, their health at least. So I have started losing. But I also do my old school stuff that I'm told to do. While I was in the hospital, I put my girdle on and I had my you know, my shaper, trying to smash it in and help compress my, you know, uterus to get back in place and help my skin, instead of it sagging, uplift your skin and stuff. So I do what I'm supposed to do, and I've done it every time, and I'm pretty happy with my stomach results. So that's just, you know, my stretch marks, it looks just about the same. My skin, because I was, you know, had hyperpigmentation, meaning it was just crazy. Like my skin everywhere was just changing colors. Like 2 days after being out of the hospital, my skin is almost back to being the colors that it's supposed to be. Like my butt, like the back of my thighs up to where my butt, like, you know, the little cuff of your butt, and right after was dark. It was really, really dark. Compared to my complexion, it was black. So it's definitely gotten back to just about my complexion, and I'm happy with that. My boobies actually didn't get as big as they did the first time. With my first post-baby, my boobs were the biggest when I was breastfeeding. But it also may be the fact that before they looked bigger because they were up higher, and it's the third one, so they kind of chilling, and they're not as, you know, happy as they used to be. So it's okay. I'll just get them lifted one day. No fake boobs. Just take what I got and push it up. But yeah, this post-pregnancy, the breastfeeding post-pregnancy this time, so much easier. The mechanics of it. Like my body I didn't get engorged. Thank you, God. The first time I was so engorged, like at one point, it was really bad. My second one, only for like maybe a day, I was actually engorged because it was one of those days where I was so busy and I couldn't feed him like I was trying to, and it kind of blocked me up. But other than that, this time, no hiccups. Knock on wood. I'm, you know, just keeping it that way because I'm trying to keep it, you know, I'm trying to prevent it from happening definitely this time. So, but the only hard part is my 1-year-old. He doesn't realize how strong and how big he is while I'm feeding her, and he's trying to grab at her, pull at her, or my boob or something. He doesn't really understand what's going on. So it's not the mechanics of my body that I'm having trouble with. It's the multiple children in breastfeeding issue that I'm having. But it'll get better. Maybe he'll understand shortly, because if he sees it happen enough, maybe. I don't know. Okay, well, let me show you my size right now. I do have my shaper on right now, but it's still it's still my size. I'm not much smaller than this, no. Or I'm not much bigger than this. Probably like maybe a ½ inch. I only wore this because I was wearing leggings and I did not like the clip hanging over my pants. You know what I'm saying? It's not the muffin top because it's not on the sides. It's the cliffhanger. I didn't want that to happen. But okay, everyone, sorry for the technical difficulties. I dropped the camera, but this is 2 weeks out, and again, I have on a shaper, but it's just my skin that is a little saggy, but that's why I'm keeping this on. But that is where I'm at. This is my width. It's already went down some here, but I definitely got to get that out of the way. So that is my 2-week update post baby. Sorry, there's too much light right there. Let me scoot my chair back over. So all in all, I'm very happy. Although it is very different at home with 3 children and 2 still wanting to cling to you. Which is funny because my second one does and doesn't want to cling to me. He either does or he doesn't. And he's very upfront about how he feels when he wants me to hold him and when he doesn't. Which a lot of times he wants me to hold him when I have to do something else for the baby or something else. And that is where I'm having my biggest trouble. It's my second child because I don't want him to feel any type of way about anything. My first child, I'm just trying to make sure he knows that I love him and he's my big boy and he's helping me, and that's doing great. But it's my second one. I'm trying to make sure that he understands the same, but I'm trying to also help him to understand that this is a baby. She's soft, she's gentle, she's little, and that he has to be soft with her. And that's just the biggest challenge. Now, pamper changing, oof. My 1-year-old does not walk yet. He's actually, what, about 15 months now? Let me see, 12, 13, 14, like 15 months this month. He'll be 1.5 soon. He does not walk yet. He can walk, but he's scared to walk. So that is that was the biggest thing, because I was like, I can't carry, because he is big. He's big. I can't carry him like I used to. It took for me to, have her to realize how heavy he was, because I couldn't pick him up for a week. And when I picked him up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is why I couldn't pick him up. I was picking him up when I wasn't supposed to be. I didn't realize that, but he is extremely heavy, and I'm trying to get him to walk. But can you potty train somebody that don't walk? Because he stinks. And them Pampers they have to leave the house immediately. I need him to get on the pod, because that is bad business. Oof. He got enough teeth. So I got to figure something out there. Because changing 2 stinking Pampers, which is one is only half stinky because it's so tiny and she's still breastfed, so it's not as bad. But when it comes down to that 1-year-old and the food that he eat, no ma'am, sir. I prefer him to be on the potty. So I guess maybe I'll be making more. Maybe I'll just have mommy vlogs just to see if anyone can help me, or maybe I can help someone else. But I don't know. If you all would like mommy vlogs, please let me know, for those that do watch my vlog videos. Because I don't mind making them. I just don't know if people want to watch it. So, again, that's my synopsis, however you say it, of my post-delivery, of my at-home recovery, and thrown back into the wolves with 3 kids. A 5, a 1, and a newborn. Never thought that would have been me. I don't know. I always thought they'd be a little further apart. I thought I'd have them like 2, 4, and 6, like maybe like 2 years apart and stuff like that. I was tripping when I was thinking that. For women that do it, more power to you. Me, it's not for me, because this is all I can handle. My 5-year-old, I'm happy he's 5 because he can help me. My 1-year-old, I love my little boo-boo, so it is what it is. So again, if you all would like to see more mommy vlogs, let me know. Comment below or inbox me. Either way, I'll answer. It may take me a couple days, so sorry about that. But let me know. I do hope to be doing at least one Valentine's Day look, because I do plan on being able to do something with my hubby. So I plan on trying to make that, and that's all I'm going to say. You all understand, because I've just explained to you all my situation. I don't even know when the last time I wore makeup. I think the last time I wore makeup was the New Year's. Yeah, for real. Oh, no, one time it was sprinkled in that month. After that, once or twice. But that's how sporadic it was, because I don't have time. And I really don't have time now to do what I want to do, because I'm making videos. Because that's what I choose to do right now. I could be taking a nap with the baby, which is what I should be doing, because you should nap when the baby nap, but I'm not. I'm okay, though. I actually went to bed early last night. Yay me. 10 o'clock. And before I was going to sleep at 2. Now that's improvement. Okay, I'm done talking. Bye.